We hear it all the time. We need new solutions for climate change, for inequality, for all our global crises. But what if the problem isn't the solutions themselves? What if the real problem is the entire operating system humanity's running on? Today, we're going to explore what a fundamental upgrade for civilization could actually look like.
I mean, just look around. Wildfires, shaky markets, communities that feel more divided than ever. It feels like we're fighting a dozen different fires at once, right? But what if all of those crises are just smoke, all rising from a single fundamental design flaw in the way our world is built?
Okay, so let's try to diagnose the problem. It's kind of like a computer that's running slow, buggy software. Our global systems are running on this flawed, totally outdated operating system. And to fix it, we have to look at the source code.
What's so wild is that these systems, our economy, our social media, they're not neutral. They're basically algorithms with intentions coded right into them. So if you program an economic system to do one thing, like, say, maximize short-term profit, it's going to do that relentlessly. And it'll often ignore or even damage other things that are absolutely crucial, like the health of our planet or our own well-being.
This slide really puts the choice we're facing in stark terms. Over on the left, that's our current OS, an extractive paradigm. It's literally coded with fear, which drives competition and this obsessive focus on short-term gains. It basically treats the Earth like a resource to be used up. But the upgrade on the right, that's a whole different philosophy. It's a regenerative paradigm designed for long-term health, for collaboration, and for working with nature instead of against it.
And what's the result of running on that old extractive OS? Well, experts have a name for it, a polycrisis. It's this cascade effect where climate change fuels economic instability, which then fuels social unrest. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Our short-term, fear-based survival code is creating the very planetary instability we're so afraid of. So if the core problem is all this fragmentation, then the solution has to be the exact opposite. What we need is a radical call for coherence.
This quote just nails it. The world is absolutely overflowing with brilliant solutions, from green energy tech to amazing local community projects. The problem isn't a lack of ideas. The problem is we're missing the coherence infrastructure. You can think of it like a global nervous system that can connect all these amazing efforts and orchestrate them into a powerful planetary response.
At the end of the day, we can't just keep putting patches on the old system. It's time for a full upgrade. We need to install a new operating system for humanity, one designed from the ground up for long-term regeneration, not short-term extraction. So, what would this new OS even look like? Well, that brings us to a really interesting project that's aiming to be just that, a platform called Phoenix. Phoenix is designed to be this new planetary operating system. It's a platform built specifically to help us shift from fragmentation to coherence, to actually orchestrate global action so we can meet huge targets like the UN Sustainable Development Goals and, finally reharmonize our human systems with the planet. And this is absolutely crucial. Phoenix is not some top-down tech solution being handed down from on high. As the quote says, it's a living commons architecture. What that really means is it's being built from the ground up, co-designed with communities to enhance their own local wisdom and solutions, not to replace them. And this really gets to the soul of the whole project. The technology? That's just the tool. The real goal here is much bigger. It's a civilizational one, creating the digital and social scaffolding that helps us all collaborate better, make wiser decisions, and finally become the responsible stewards our planet desperately needs.
Okay, so how does it actually work? How does a platform like this create the kind of coherence and synergy we've been talking about?
The process really creates this powerful, virtuous cycle. So first, it connects the right people and projects. Then, by helping everyone see the whole system, it starts to break down those silos and defragment our efforts. This speeds up the learning process, so what works in one place can be copied and adapted quickly somewhere else. And the whole thing is built on a foundation of trust, which is powered by totally transparent governance. If you look under the hood, the whole architecture is designed for this kind of synergy. You've got layers for coherence, for trust, for learning, but the one I find most critical is this ethical restraint layer. It basically acts as a crucial safeguard, making sure that we don't just accelerate for the sake of speed, but that we're accelerating in a direction that's truly aligned with life and with well-being. Right at the very heart of Phoenix is this thing called the Synergy Engine. You can think of it as the smart core of this new OS. It's an intelligence layer that finds all the connections and alignments between different efforts. This allows for massive, global collaboration, while, and this is key, still empowering local communities to do what works best for them.
So what does a world that's actually running on this new operating system look like? This last section gives us a little glimpse into that possible future.
This is the human impact. Right here, we move from a world of isolated, head-to-head competition to a global network. Just imagine a world where a breakthrough in sustainable farming in Kenya can be instantly shared, adapted, and then implemented in Brazil. That's the power of having a nervous system that's built on shared learning and mutual support.
And the ultimate goal is this beautiful picture, a world where our economies and our cities are no longer fighting against nature, but are actually integrated with it. We're talking about building truly circular economies where there's no such thing as waste, practicing deep ecological stewardship, and just reharmonizing our entire civilization with the living systems that support all of us.
You know, maybe the best way to think about all this is as a natural process of growing up. This is humanity's moment of maturation. It's a conscious evolution away from this sort of extractive competitive adolescence and into a cooperative, regenerative adulthood.
Look, this isn't a future that's set in stone. It's an invitation. We're standing at a crossroads. The technology, the vision for a regenerative world, it's all within our grasp. The only question left is the one we all have to answer. Are we going to choose to co-design and build that future together?